Hey, Stitch 1993 here, and today we're going to be looking at a overlooked slash underrated game, Unbox Newbies Adventure, developed by Prospect Games and releasing for the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows on September 5th, 2016. This is one of those games I feel gets judged for its cover, but is really a hidden gem, especially for the Nintendo Switch, if not all the consoles that it got released on. This was probably one of the early games I got for the Switch, probably about my 8th or 10th game here. And yeah, if you look at the cover, it seems like it might be a cheap game, probably a party game. Definitely not a 3D collectathon platformer with large open world levels and a customizable character creation screen. No, not at all. But that is exactly what it is. You are a box of the Global Postal Service that your job is to go around and help other boxes, and there's enemy boxes along the way that you have to defeat. Outside of that, there's not much of a story. There is a bad guy, and you do defeat them, but it's not the pinnacle. The main objective in the game is really to collect rolls of tape, which are kind of like your notes in Banjo-Kazooie or coins in the Mario games. And you get stamps, which would be considered the stars in the Mario games, or jiggies in Banjo-Kazooie, or insert large collectible object here from your favorite 3D platformer. You have about 10 per level and 100 pieces of tape to collect here. And as I said, you can customize the box, both the box itself, what do you look like. You can also put costumes on and just roll around. It's a really tight game as far as controls go. The way you jump, of course you use the A button to jump, but you have 6 boxes, I guess, inside of yourself, or uses really, and every time you jump you use one of your boxes, and your box also counts as your life gauge as well, so you can get down to one box before you can't jump anymore, or at least as in long jumps you kind of can skip, but that's about as far. So you got to collect more boxes to beef yourself back up, and once you get the hang of it, you can basically almost fly across some of these levels, getting the best altitude out of some of these jumps. It's a lot of platforming, a lot of collecting, and you're rewarded for exploring 100% of the level. Like, there could be a cliff or like a waterfall, and you think in most games there's nothing that's going to be over that cliff, or there's not really going to be anything under that waterfall. You're wrong. Over that cliff could be a whole nother little area to explore with a whole bunch of stamps and other boxes you gotta rescue out of cages, and of course tape. And waterfalls could have their whole adventure levels inside of the waterfall. Of course you do have to be careful because you are allergic to water, but I feel like unlike other platformers, it makes sense in this game. Like, you're cardboard, you definitely should be avoiding water at all costs. You also have all these little mini games, mainly racing or beating the time limit type of trials to gain some stamps. Of course, there's always a box in each level that you can go to that will provide you with hints, either as pictures or as showing somewhere on the map where exactly your next stamp could be, and next piece of tape that you're missing. And it's honestly, as I said, a highly underrated game, and I would rank it up there with the likes of Super Mario 64 and the Banjo Kazooie series and everything else. It would fit. It's of course graphically better for the most part. There's some slight lags here and there, but they're really not noticeable. At least not to me, honestly. But if this had been downgraded graphics wise to about an N64 level, it would fit right in with the N64 and PlayStation 1 era of games. So if you're into that, if you're into those type of games, I would highly recommend checking this one out. It's really cheap. I bought this about 5 or 6 years ago for I think 15, maybe $20, and it's still at that price to this day. Thankfully, it's not one of the ones that has gone up in price. Of course, this is as of 2023. If you're watching this 10 years later and all of a sudden it's become a rare game somehow and it's now like hundreds of dollars, I do apologize. I hope that you don't feel bad for people watching in the future if you're seeing this and it's become somehow a rare game. But I don't think it will ever do that, at least not for a while, though. So hopefully it's still, 5, 10, 15 years down the road, still affordable to pick up, because this is one everybody should check out. All the footage you're seeing here is, of course, on the Switch, so I can't say for the other consoles of how well it plays, but on the Switch, it runs great, both docked and in handheld mode. And yeah, I don't think there's much more I can say about the game. The levels are fun. It's so colorful. And all the boxes themselves are colorful. You can be colorful in yourself. You can be, just a regular brown box, or you can, there's Halloween, Christmas, I think even some Thanksgiving themed costumes you can unlock by collecting stamps and collecting tapes and everything. And then of course you can put on hats and ties and just kind of really trick your box out, fit your style or mood, however you want to play. And you can do that, I think, at any time, or at least before the beginning of any level there, and really just have fun with it. I will say I do prefer if there's no costumes on the box. Like the paint jobs, it's fine because it doesn't affect the gameplay, but I do notice that depending on what you're wearing, because you are tumbling around, sometimes it's a bit harder to control if, say, you've got like a hat or something that has an angle on it, because it's a bit cumbersome to roll around with and to land perfectly when you're wearing something like that. But other than that, it's a fun game. I'm not doing a rating system. These are games I would recommend for one way or another in this series. So yeah, definitely go out, check this game out. I don't know if it's available on stuff like Gamer Pass or anything like that. So just have at it, and let me know down in the comment section if you play this game and what your thoughts are, if this is your first time hearing about the game. And if you've come back to this video after trying the game, let me know what your thoughts are then too. And of course, like and subscribe for more videos like this in the future. And until then, thank you and have a good day.